Hello, my name's Tom Sheffler, and today we're going to talk briefly about NLIP and put it in context with a comparison to MCP and A2A. Raj, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Raj Dodhiawala. I've been in the software industry for a number of years, and currently, amongst other things, I'm a contributor to this NLIP protocol and the work in progress on NLIP.
Great. So a little bit about our project. NLIP stands for Natural Language Interaction Protocol, and we are working to define a standard for agent-to-agent interactions using natural language. We're formally registered as Ecma Technical Committee 56, and we will be submitting documents to Ecma for distribution worldwide. The meetings are restricted to official members as an Ecma group. However, NLIP meetings themselves are open. NLIP is organized under the Enterprise Neurosystem, which is an open source AI research community. We have over 190 participants from 30 companies, and development meetings are open. So the way we work the development of NLIP is that we have open meetings under Enterprise Neurosystem and then submit formal documents to Ecma for standardization and publication. All right. So what is NLIP? NLIP is a protocol for transferring natural language augmented with media types in two different applications. One is between a user-facing application like a chat app and an agent. The other place is between agents themselves. So just as a user can talk to an agent, agents can talk to each other using natural language. Raj?
Yeah, so think about NLIP akin to a browser using HTTP. So the HTTP standard evolved where the browser application was able to allows you to talk to communicate with a website or get information from a website, but websites also within themselves could be communicating each other with the underlying HTTP protocol. So similarly, NLIP is has a front-end application, and then the protocol itself can be used to communicate with other AI systems, including agents. So really, one interface, but many agents, many applications, intelligent applications. So what is an NLIP message, right? So the idea here is that any one endpoint talking to another will communicate in a standardized NLIP message. This message is in JSON. And it's got a formal structure. It's got security elements in it, but it's also got the data payload elements in it. So you can include text, you can include media of various types like videos. You can embed documents or link to documents, as well as include structured information that is required or necessary as part of your natural language communication with the agent, right? The NLIP message is community-driven data type. There's been a broad set of community members that have come together. Emerging diversity of it plays well amongst the emerging diversity of message types. As Tom mentioned, it is in the process of getting standardized. First draft, or it's been reviewed multiple times by Ecma, but now a final draft has been submitted for approval and has got a number of different elements to it, which Tom, could you explain, please?
Yeah, sure. So the first document is an overview of the natural language interaction protocol itself. And then there are three associated documents binding that protocol to different transports. There's one for HTTP, another one for binding the protocol to WebSockets, and another one binding it to AMQP. So this protocol can be used in a variety of circumstances. And when if it traverses from one to the other, there's a well-defined syntax for what it means over each transport. Finally, there's a security document. And this security document defines different security profiles for conforming NLIP agents. And the intent for this is that for the development of NLIP agents, people will be able to know that the agent on the other end is conforming to one of the three separate security profiles. So security is built in from the start in an NLIP agent. So we often get questions, how is NLIP different than MCP? How is it different from A2A? And I'll speak to those briefly. So MCP is a protocol enabling the externalization of tools, prompts, and resources. And on the left, I've shown a hypothetical agent constructed as a monolith. And so some of the components of an agent are, there's an LLM that's interpreting user queries and prompts. There's conversation history that adds context to the LLM. And then oftentimes there are tools that the LLM can call. There are prompts that are instructions, and there's resources. Now you can encode an agent with all of these as a part of the software itself, but MCP gives a means to externalize the definition of tools, prompts, and resources. MCP is great. It's enabled a whole lot of applications and an ecosystem of MCP servers. NLIP works well with MCP-enabled agents. So where NLIP sits is between agent-to-agent communications, and MCP is good at decomposing an agent into a main component and an externalized server with MCP tools, prompts, and resources. The other protocol we get asked about is A2A. Now in A2A, there's an discovery protocol where one agent queries the agent card of another to understand its capabilities. And then the primitives of the A2A protocol are the task and artifact. One agent can offload a task and then retrieve the result of that task, known as an artifact. NLIP can do something similar, but expresses those using natural language and is perhaps more flexible. So instead of having a separate agent discovery, two agents would use natural language to exchange a conversation about the capabilities of the second, and would also use natural language to negotiate further data types or what sorts of operations need to be defined. So we believe that NLIP is a more general protocol enabling natural language negotiations between agents for a more open-ended system. So in summary, NLIP is a community-governed open standard for agent interactions. I can direct you to our website on GitHub at github.com/NLIP Project and the Ecma Technical Committee 56 website, where you can read more about that organization and Technical Committee 56 under it. And in summary, use NLIP for multimodal conversations between users and agents, and between agents and other agents. All right, thanks for tuning in today.
Thank you.